Yo, what is going on, Top Shot people? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Eric. My Top Shot name is Nifty Sports. That's NFTY Sports. I am super hyped to bring you another video today. As you know, the past couple of days have been insane on NBA Top Shot. We got a lot of news to cover, but definitely the main point of this video is to get into the NFL and the Dapper Labs partnership. We've had a couple of days to roll up the sleeves and learn a lot about what's going down with the NFL and Dapper Labs right now. So I'm going to be getting into everything that I know, a couple of good sources out there, as well as the Roham interview in the Nine Lives Lounge that just happened yesterday. So stay tuned for that. Also in this video, I'm going to be touching on the WNBA Quest and the Run It Back announcement for the 05-06 season that they just dropped as well. I'll be making a separate video on that later on to get into all the details. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel, throw me a thumbs up and comment to let me know what you think of the video. Before we get started, I'm going to show you just real quick an update that I made to my YouTube page. I'm just going to take 2 seconds to scroll down on my YouTube page to this shorts section. I've been posting them up lately. They are 1-minute TikTok style videos that I've been dropping news alerts like the Run It Back, NFL news, and then the market moving like crazy when the WNBA announced their MVP, Jonquel Jones. So let me know what you think of this TikTok style format. You can also follow me on TikTok for it. And I also post updates on my Twitter page. There you have it. The whole point of this channel is to help both the common and the rare collector build their collection in the best way possible. So at the end of this video, the last thing I'll do is go over the marketplace and some of the buys that I'm making right now and some of the buys that I also recommend for people of both the common and the rare collectors. Let's get into the big news. I'm sitting here on NFL.dapperlabs.com. The news was leaked on Tuesday that there was a partnership brewing between the NFL and Dapper Labs. On Wednesday, it was officially announced by Roham. You can go on to NFL.dapperlabs.com and join the waitlist for the platform. I've done it already. You can just sign in right here if you are a Dapper account holder already. I've sent this to a bunch of friends and family that are all fans of the NFL. It is going to be absolutely crazy. I'm going to touch on all the news that I have found. I have found a couple of sources to be really good sources of information regarding what's going to go down with the NFL, what's going to go down with early access. So we'll get into all of that right now. First of all, as a lot of you know, and a lot of you are interested in my takes on the Cool Cat set and the Nine Lives Lounge went bananas when this announcement was made. We had Luka's, LaMelo's just flying off the marketplace at insane prices. Luka probably went from 12 or 1300 up to north of 2300, 2400 yesterday probably. We have LaMelo balls that went from $5,000 that are now going for $8,500, and it costs $12,000 to complete this set. It's up 60% in the last day. And I'll get into all the reasoning behind this and what I think the perks will actually be. But we also are going to go through some of Roham's, who is the CEO of Dapper Labs. We're going to go through his question and answer with the Nine Lives Lounge that just dropped in the Discord. So I'll go over all that information with you as well. But just take a note here that there are 2,685 completions in the Cool Cat set. I had this set completed once. I just got this Infinite Objects Dapper Labs partnership on the Cool Cats Lounge thing. And I sold off my LaMelo ball. I sold off a bunch of the moments to move into other moments. And really, it's a really amazing thing that I'll show you guys later. But it really kind of just serves as a reminder that I sold early, and it's kind of brutal to look at. So I don't know if it's just going to sit in this box or if it's going to come out and sit on the desk quite yet. But I think anybody who completed the Master Challenge, I think, got that moment. So if you don't know, I did complete the Master Challenge at one point. I'm not a current holder, but I moved into a LeBron James rare moment, and a couple other rare moments from the money that I made selling the cool cats. So I was super excited about those moments, and I still hold those in my collection. Those are forever moments for me. So just a personal note, but here we go. Let's look at the marketplace. Yep, Luka's going for 2,100 right now. LaMelo's going for 8,500. So that's a majority of that whole entire cool cat set. If you don't have those bottleneck moments, the chances of completing it, I mean, are obviously zero, but the bottleneck is what you need first in order to get those. So let's take a look at everything that Roham has said about the early access, about the 9 Lives Lounge, and then I will show you a Twitter post from the first mint as well that I thought was super helpful in summing up everything that we've learned so far. All right, what I'm looking at here is a 3-page question and answer form from Roham and the 9 Lives Lounge that just dropped this morning or last night. I don't know which one, but it is all information that's fresh off the press. I'm going to leave a link to this Google Doc in my description of this video right here so that you can read through it all by yourself. I just wanted to hit over a couple of highlights, and then I'll give you my takes on whether or not I think it's fair, yada, 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 so on and so forth, and all that good stuff. So will NFL minting start small and slowly get bigger like Top Shot? The answer, he said, is yes and no. They have a much bigger economy on their platform right now, is what they said. Basically, I think what he is referring to here is that when they started NBA Top Shot, it was just such a smaller platform. And now that there's 500,000 users, all of which are probably interested in the NFL, there's a lot more people with already eyes on that platform. So yes, it can start smaller, but it also can grow much quicker. That is what I expect out of the NFL Top Shot type platform. Do we have a rough timeline for the NFL this season? So it's definitely happening this season. That looks like a very definitive answer from Roham, which is amazing. It's something that you can all get hyped up for. Basically, one of the questions out there right now is, do you think people are going to sell NBA Top Shot moments so that they can build up Dapper and buy moments of the NFL, La Liga, so on and so forth? And the answer to that question was that the more content they have, the more users they'll be able to get into, and the better it'll be for everyone. It's just a major expansion that they plan on having. And if you read down further into here, somebody asked what the main difference between beta and non-beta is, and he basically just says, can you talk about the items that are gating us between leaving beta? What's left to do? The biggest one is mobile. And then here's the question that I was looking for. What is the difference between beta and out of beta? And he says that actually probably most to do with how heavy we're advertising and growing the product. So as a lot of you know, NBA Top Shot doesn't do a ton of advertising right now. It's super organic. There's about 500,000 on the platform. And when everyone's talking about when they're out of beta, how massive the market for NBA fans and sports fans is, and how much advertising is going to change and bring an influx of customers onto the platform. That is what they're gearing up for. Beta is meaning that we're testing and making sure that it's ready for the mass public, and then able to onboard them logistically. So once that happens, I think it's just going to be crazy, right? So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm going to hit on a couple of more questions here. One of the main things that they talk about is the 9 Lives Lounge. And I know that is something that's on all of your minds, and you've asked me about too. Will 9 Lives Lounge get early access to NFL? It's not guaranteed, but they will get it before public beta. So if you want to look at the bottom of this first page right here, you'll go into this question, hey, Roham, will NLL get early access to NFL? Yes, NLL gets the highest priority flag for the NFL as well as La Liga. However, it does not guarantee early access, that all 9 Lives Lounge get access before anyone else. Each brand will take a variety of factors into account, including collector score and marketplace spend. There will also be slots in early access reserved for new fans of each particular brand, as well as testers who prove themselves through other means. Remember, other projects have to start with 20, 100, 1,000, or even more testers before they can let in the whole 9 Lives Lounge. And then as a follow-up question, does this mean that access will be staggered with potential of all 9 Lives Lounge at some point before the project goes to open beta? And yes, 9 Lives Lounge will get access before open beta. So that answer right there is the catalyst for the continued growth of this 9 Lives Lounge group, the craziness that Melo's going off. But I think, my takes on it is that it's going to be a little bit different. I popped into this First Mint, and I'll come back to this real quick, but I popped into this First Mint post. If you go to the First Mint, they have a really good site that covers everything Top Shot. And if you scroll down to one of their posts from yesterday, it's the best thing that I've seen so far in summarizing, at least up to that point, what we know about NBA Top Shot. So I will link this in my description as well if you want to read all the way through it. But they basically, right when the news dropped, the First Mint opened up a Twitter space and they started throwing back some ideas that I thought were really, really solid. The main idea here, and my take on it as well, is that yes, the 9 Lives Lounge may get early access, which it looks like they will, but that early access isn't going to be like early access to NBA Top Shot was, right? There's some stuff in here that you read, about legendary and rare drops coming out in beta, in the closed beta available to the 9 Lives Lounge. He said that, yes, there's probably going to be some rare and legendary moments that people can get their hands on, but that a lot of the packs are probably going to be reserved for the general public once it's open for the general public. So my thoughts is that, when you compare it to something that was so early, like the NBA Top Shot in, June of 2020, where you could buy as many legendary packs as you wanted. You can rip all the packs that you wanted. You can buy legendary moments for, $20, stuff like that. It's not going to be like that anymore, right? Like, there's going to be people who get their hands on some amazing legendary and rare moments in the NFL, but they're not going to be able to stack them to the degree that, millions and millions of dollars are going to be made or whales are going to be created just from having some early access onto this NFL platform. At least that's my opinion, right? We all know that way back when early access to NBA was going on, if you really went full in and dropped a good amount of money or even just went in somewhat aggressively, it was life-changing type of money that could be made. I don't know if that is going to be the case on the NFL, just because, like I said, there's been 500,000 people on the Dapper Labs NBA Top Shot platform already. So there's so many more eyes on it. There's a lot more criticism. There's a lot more pressure to open things up from beta, closed beta to open beta, and then allow the general public to get in anyway. So those are my takes. Again, I am dropping this in my description. I'm also going to drop the First Mint Twitter into my description. Follow me on Twitter as well for updates. Moving on to close out the video, I'm going to talk just briefly about this WNBA challenge, which is a great one. It ends on Monday. Then I'm going to talk about the Run It Back announcement, and then I'm going to finish it up with some of the moments that I'm looking at on the marketplace to buy right now, gearing up for season 3. So the WNBA challenge is really straightforward. It's challenge 5. You get a Diamond Deshields moment. For this one, you need 10 WNBA moments, and you are allowed to stack them. I confirmed that by reading the fine print right here. As long as the 10 moments meet the requirements, player stacking and moment stacking is allowed. So technically, if you have 10 of the same moment that you stacked, all of them would be able to go into that showcase, and you would get that Diamond Deshields moment. So if you're a WNBA collector, get on that. Throw the showcase together and get this amazing Diamond Deshields moment. And let me know if you're doing that one in the comments section. Now let's move on to the Run It Back announcement that happened yesterday. Here is the blog post for the Run It Back announcement. It is one of the announcements that we have all been waiting for on this platform. We have been so excited about this running up to the end of September here because they promised it in the summer. It's coming out in October. They announced that it's the 05-06 season. There are not a ton of details, to be honest with you, that have been announced on this yet, but they have announced Dwayne Wade. He's the cover boy of this Run It Back set, and his Top Shot debut will be released in a rare as a Miami Heat 05-06 moment where they won the championship. So that is going to be probably the most incredible moment on there. But there's also a ton of other amazing players that come out of that season. You can Google it. You can look up. One of the things that I recommend is looking up the All-Star team from that year. Chris Paul was the rookie that year. I think that Steve Nash was the MVP that year. Just a ton of good stuff going on during the 05-06 season. So it's a really exciting one, and it's going to be super, super highly, competitive to get one of these rare packs. I'm going to make a full video on Run It Back and what my projections are. If you want to look at my last Run It Back speculation video, go ahead and take a look at that one. But I'm going to do a little bit more digging. I'm going to do some more research on some moments that I think might be out there, and then I'll release the full video on Run It Back sometime soon. So before there's another announcement, I'll probably get into it. I'll talk about what collector scores I think that you're going to need for the priority queues, how many mints are going to be released, and all that kind of good stuff. So keep an eye out on Twitter for some information about this drop that's coming out. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait for it. Expect people to start preparing on Dapper, building up their Dapper accounts, getting into the marketplace and selling some moments so that they can build up their accounts and all that stuff. It always happens kind of before a major pack drop. People are going to be wanting to make moves on collector score and all that good stuff. So once they announce the collector score that they'll need, if there's any moments on the marketplace that you're looking to snipe, keep an eye out for them, and you might be able to find a good deal out there. All right, lastly, I just wanted to pop into the marketplace real quick and let you know what I'm thinking right now in terms of some of the stuff that I'm buying. What I did here is I just filtered out the rare metallic gold series 2 LE. The reason that I did this is because one of the things that I am most curious about for season 3, series 3, is how many they're going to release in terms of mint count on their metallic gold. A lot of us know the metallic gold is basically the flagship of NBA Top Shot, right? That is something that's going to hold probably from season 1 all the way until the very end. Season 1, series 1, whatever you want to call it, they were minted out of 299. Series 2 minted out of 499. And what I'm most curious about is what they're going to have as metallic gold for series 3, right? If these things jump up to $6.99, $7.99, $8.99 mint counts, then these series 2 should really hold value because of their rarity. Much like the series 1 metallic golds are more expensive than this series 2 set, there's still a lot of good players here within striking range, depending on what your budget is. There's some good players under $100. There's some players around the 120 range, stuff that I think is really going to be solid going into next season. And my strategy is to kind of pick up a couple of these, potentially see where the value of them goes, maybe trade into some series 1s, sell them off, trade into some series 1s, or get some massive superstar series 3 type of guys. One of the moments that I want most, period, on the platform next series is the first rare moment that Russell Westbrook has on the Lakers. I'm going to do everything I can to get that moment. I mean, as a Laker fan, having Russ come to the Lakers is going to be ridiculous. So that's probably the number one moment that I want on the platform for next series. So whether it takes me buying a couple of these now, selling them off, to get a series 1 that I want, or a series 3, that's something that I might do, or I might just hold some of these guys, right? Like long term, seriously, like there's guys going for $200 like Draymond Green that I don't think, I don't know, I may never get rid of those. So who knows if he'll have another rare moment on the platform. It's his only rare right now. So that's just stuff that I'm taking into consideration here. But if you scroll down, I mean, you got $92 for a championship badge. Brooke Lopez, 499 of those will ever only be minted. We got guys like John Collins going for 120, DeAndre Jordan at 97, Clint Capella at 100, Dylan Brooks at 98. Bogdan Bogdanovic, this, the thing that I like about this moment is it's his first rare moment on the Atlanta Hawks, as well as Vucevic right here. It's his first rare moment on the Bulls. And if he has a great season next year, you could see that one potentially rising with guys like DeMar DeRozan, Caruso, and Lonzo on that team. Mike Conley, if the Jazz have another big year, he's a veteran on that team. He made his first All-Star team last year. Just so many good stuff that you can get here under that 150 range. If this isn't quite your range, I mean, go all the way down. Take a look at, Jokic. He won MVP last year. I think there's still good value on that one right now for like $400. So if this isn't quite in your price range, what I recommend doing is I would look at the base set, and let's take a look at the base set here. All right. So what I do recommend if your price range. All right. So what I recommend looking at and considering if your price range is a little bit lower is looking at these 40K, 35K moments at the floor for superstars. I just did a couple of examples here: Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, John Morant, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Michael Porter Jr., Paul George. There's more superstars than that, but these are some of the ones that I know at around like $5 right now. So, and some of the ones that I've been stacking up personally. So if you look at this, you got Michael Porter, you got Paul George, Joel Embiid. I stacked 10 of these John Morants, 7 of these Donovan Mitchells. I picked up Kyrie Irving. Like, these are going for $5 or $6 right now. And something to keep in mind is that these, y'all know I love this Jason Tatum moment. They're $10. I got 12 of those. I got 8 of these Devin Bookers at the 15K level. Those are a little bit more expensive, but there's deals out there for anyone who's, in the market right now. Like a $5 deal on a superstar is pretty amazing, considering that 40,000 of them are minted. There's going to be a ton more fans coming in, and that these are going to be seriously 6 times the collector score of the base set moments for Series 3. We already know that. These are worth 12 collector score. The Series 3 commons are going to be 2 points unless they change anything. So that's why it's probably a good idea to stack up on some of these, keep that collector score padded, and then as they rise up, then maybe you can even sell them off and trade into some rare moments or some common moments that are minted at lower mint counts. Just kind of like a good way to see some gains on your portfolio. That's how I'm taking it, at least. So that's some food for thought there. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video now. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, thank you to all my subscribers. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, liking the video, and commenting to let me know what you think. I give updates, 2 or 3 times a week in full-length episodes. And then I also have a TikTok and Twitter account where I'm constantly updating, as well as my YouTube shorts. So I try to keep everything, for both beginning and rare collectors so that everyone is getting something out of these videos. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next video.